All right. Luke chapter 23. And the whole multitude of them arose and led him unto Pilate. And they began to accuse him, saying, We found thee following prevent the nation and forbidding to give tribute to Caesar, saying that he himself is Christ a king. And Pilate asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? And he answered him and said, Thou sayest it. And said Pilate to the chief priest and to the people, I found no fault in this man. And they were the more free, saying, He stretched up the people, teaching thou throughout all Jewry, beginning from Galilee to this place. When Pilate heard of Galilee, he asked whether the man were a Galilean, and as soon as he knew that he belonged unto Herod Justin, he sent him to Herod, who himself also was a Jerusalem at that time. And when Herod saw Jesus, he was exceeded glad, for he was desired to see him for a long time season, because he had heard many things of him, and he hoped to have seen some of the miracles done by him. Then he questioned with him in many words, but he answered him nothing. And the chief priests and scribes stood him verily accused him. And Herod with his man of war set him at naught, and a generous robe, and sent him again to Pilate. And the same day Pilate and Herod were made friends together, for before they were at enemies between themselves. And Pilate, when he had called together the chief priest, said unto them, Ye have brought this man unto me as one of the people, and behold, I having extremed him before you, have found no fault in this man touching these things, wherefore ye accuse him. No, nor yet Herod, for a sent you to him, and nothing worthy of death is done unto him. I will therefore chase him and release him, for of necessary he must release one unto them at the feast. And they cried out all at once, saying, Away with this man, and release unto us Barabbas, who for a certain situation made in the city, and the murder was cast into prison. Pilate, therefore, willing to release Jesus, spoke again to them. But they cried, saying, Crucify him, crucify him. And he said unto them the third time, Why, what evil hath he done? I have found no cause of death in him. I will therefore chase him and let him go. And they were intent with loud voices, declaring that he might be crucified. And the voices of them and the chief priests prevailed. And Pilate gave sentence that it should be as they required. And he released unto them that for sinners and murder was cast into prison, whom they had desired, but delivered Jesus to their will. And as they led him away, they laid a hold upon one Simon, coming out of this country, and on him they laid the cross, that he might bear it after Jesus. And there followed him a great company of people, of women, which also wailed and lamented him. But Jesus turned unto them, saying, Daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. For behold, the days are coming, in the which they shall say, Blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bare, and the paps which never gave. Then shall they begin to say to the mountains, Fall on us, and to the hills, cover us. For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry? And there were also 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place where it is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his rent and cast a lot. And the people stood beholding. A ruler also with them divide him, saying, He saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Christ, the chosen of God. And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar, and saying, If thou be the King of Jews, save thyself. And a superstition also was written over him in the letters of the Greek and the Latin and Hebrew, This is the King of the Jews. And one of the malefactors which were hung railed on him, saying, If thou be Christ, save thyself and us. But the others answered, Rebuke him, saying, Dost not thou fear God, seeing thou art in the same condemnation? And we indeed justify, for we receive and due reward of our deeds. But this man had done nothing amiss. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest thy kingdom. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto you, unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. And it was about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the earth until the 9th hour, and the sun was darkened, and the veil of the temple were rent in the midst. And when Jesus had cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, thou into thy hands I commend my spirit. And have that said thus, he gave up the ghost. Now when the curtain saw what was done, he glorified God, saying, Certainly this was a righteous man. And all the people that come together to that sight, behold, the things which were done smote their breasts and returned, and all the accompanies, and the woman of the following him from Galilee stood afar off, behold these things. And behold, there was a man named Joseph, a Carmel, and he was a good man and a just. The same had not consented to the counsel of deed of them. He was of Atmos, the city of the Jews, who also himself waited for the kingdom of them. This man went into Pilate and begged the body of Jesus, and he took it down and wrapped it in a linen and laid it in a sculpture that was hewn in stone, where never man he before was laid. And that day was the preparation, and the salvation drew on. And the women also which came from him from Galilee followed after they behold the sepulchre and how his body was laid. And they returned and prepared spices and ointments, and rested in the Sabbath day according to the commandments.